There are days that stay with you, not because they were perfect, but because every single hour felt like a different world. A ruined castle rising from the morning mist, a steam train curling through the hills, chalk cliffs tumbling into an impossible blue sea, and then, at the very end of it all, standing in front of one of the most beautiful things England has ever made, as the sun melted into the horizon. This is a single day in the Isle of Purbeck, Dorset, and I promise you, it's unlike anywhere else on Earth. Arriving in Corfe Castle Village. The day starts early, and it starts in Corfe Castle Village. There's something quietly magical about this place before the crowds arrive. The streets are made of Purbeck stone, that distinctive warm gray that seems to absorb the morning light and give it back softer. Stone cottages line every lane. A church tower peaks above the rooftops. And above it all, impossible to ignore, are the jagged ruins on the hill, watching over everything like they have for 1,000 years. I stop at the Greyhound for a coffee and something to eat. It's an old inn, sat directly below the castle, and honestly, the view from your table might be the best breakfast companion you've ever had. But the coffee doesn't last long, because that castle, it's calling you up. Corfe Castle. From the moment you pass through the gate and start climbing, you feel it. That particular weight of history that only certain places carry. Corfe Castle dates back to the 11th century, built by none other than William the Conqueror following the Norman conquest. Unusually for that era, it was constructed largely from stone, a sign of just how important this location was strategically. Because Corfe commands the only natural gap in the entire Purbeck Hills, controlling the road between Wareham and Swanage. Whoever held this castle held the peninsula. But the site's history stretches even further back. In 978 AD, the young King Edward the Martyr, King of Wessex, was murdered here at the orders of his own stepmother, Queen Elfrida, to clear the path for her son Ethelred to take the throne. He was just a teenager. Fast forward to the English Civil War, and Corfe Castle earned one of its most remarkable chapters. With the Parliamentarian army besieging the castle, Lady Mary Banks held it for nearly 3 full years with just a handful of defenders, as her husband was away in Oxford with the king. She repelled assault after assault. Corfe only fell in 1646 when one of her own garrison betrayed her from within. Parliament ordered the castle slighted, systematically demolished, which is why today its towers lean at impossible angles and its walls end mid-air, frozen in the moment of their destruction. Standing inside these ruins, you're not just looking at old stones. You're standing inside 4 centuries of English history, and it is extraordinary. The Swanage Steam Railway. Just below the castle sits one of Dorset's most charming hidden gems, the Swanage Railway. And there is truly no better way to travel from Corfe to the coast. This is a working heritage steam railway, and it has been running since 1885. Closed in 1972, it was saved from oblivion by a dedicated group of volunteers who spent years campaigning, restoring, and rebuilding the line from scratch. Today, it carries nearly 200,000 passengers a year across 5.5 miles of some of the most beautiful countryside in England. There is something deeply satisfying about sitting in a vintage carriage, hearing the hiss of steam and the rhythmic clatter of the wheels, watching the Purbeck Hills roll past your window. Corfe Castle shrinking in the distance as you curve south through fields and woodland toward the sea. By the time the train rolls into Swanage, you've already had an experience, and the day is only just beginning. Swanage is what a Victorian seaside town looks like when it hasn't been spoiled. There's an honesty to it, a long, sandy bay, a historic pier stretching into calm water, a high street that still has proper bakeries and independent shops, and a pace of life that feels like England before everyone was in such a hurry. It's worth a gentle wander, grab an ice cream, walk the beach, breathe in the sea air. But the real drama today lies further up the coast, and the cliff path north of town leads you straight to it. Because about 2 miles from here, standing at the very edge of England, is one of the most striking geological formations in the entire country. The cliff path north of Swanage takes you to Handfast Point. And there they stand, Old Hairy Rocks, 3 towering stacks of brilliant white chalk rising vertically from the sea at the southernmost tip of Studland Bay. They are extraordinary, almost theatrical, as if the coast couldn't resist making one final dramatic statement before it gave way to the open water of Poole Bay. The chalk here dates back approximately 66 to 145 million years, formed in the Cretaceous period when this entire region lay beneath a warm, shallow sea. The rock you're standing on was once seafloor, built from the microscopic shells of millions of tiny marine creatures compressed over millennia. Geologically speaking, Old Harry and the needles on the Isle of Wight across the water were once the same chalk ridge, a continuous line running from Purbeck to Wight. The sea broke through around 10,000 years ago, and what remains are these magnificent sentinels. As for the name, theories vary. Some say it's named after a local pirate, Harry Pay. Others say Old Harry is simply another name for the devil himself. Either way, standing at the cliff edge with the wind off the sea and those white columns rising from the waves below, you can believe almost anything you want about this place. The path drops down from the cliffs into Studland Bay, and honestly, the change of scene hits you like a reset button. This is one of the most beautiful and least developed beaches in England. 4 miles of golden sand, backed by National Trust heathland and sand dunes that shelter rare wildlife, including all 6 native species of British reptile. It's the kind of beach that makes you quietly furious you haven't been coming here your whole life. This is a good place to stop for lunch, find a spot on the sand, and take a moment to simply be somewhere extraordinary before the afternoon pulls you west along the coast. The drive west through the Purbeck Hills is a reward in itself. The road rises over the ridge, and for one glorious moment you can see everything. The heathland stretching north toward Poole Harbour, the English Channel blazing in the afternoon light, and the hills rolling away in every direction without a single building in sight. Dorset at its most quietly, stubbornly beautiful. The destination now is Lulworth Cove, and the road there takes you through villages so unchanged they feel borrowed from another century. And then you round the final bend, and Lulworth Cove stops you in your tracks. It is almost a perfect circle. Carved into the Jurassic Coast by the sea over millions of years, the cove is enclosed by towering white and gray limestone cliffs on every side, with a narrow opening to the channel, just wide enough to let the tides in and out. The water inside is an improbable shade of turquoise, clear enough on a good day to see the pebbles on the bottom. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, part of the Jurassic Coast, England's only natural World Heritage Site, telling a geological story that stretches back 185 million years. And it welcomes over 500,000 visitors annually, which tells you everything about how special it is. But before you linger at the cove, take the 5-minute path west to Stair, because this is where the geology becomes almost theatrical. Here, the sea has punched through the limestone to form a small, dramatic cove of its own, and the rock walls display the famous Lulworth Crumple, layers of chalk and limestone folded into extraordinary S-shapes and waves by the immense tectonic pressures of millions of years ago. It looks less like geology and more like art. Standing here, you genuinely feel the age of the earth. It is humbling in the best possible way. This is a natural limestone arch formed from Portland stone, one of the hardest and most durable limestones in the world. And the sea has been carving away at it for around 10,000 years. The very name comes from the Old English word thurl, meaning to pierce, bore, or drill. Someone stood here 1,000 years ago and looked at this exact thing and named it with quiet, perfect accuracy. The place the sea drilled through the rock. It is privately owned by the Weld family, who have held the surrounding Lulworth estate for generations. It has been ranked by multiple surveys as the finest place in England to watch a sunset, and on an evening like this one you understand completely why. The sun drops steadily toward the horizon to the west, and as it does, Durdle Door begins to transform. The pale gray of the limestone warms to gold. The sea inside the arch turns from blue to green to a deep, trembling amber. The shadows lengthen across the pebble beach. The handful of people scattered along the shore go quiet in that unspoken agreement that happens when something beautiful is about to peak. And then, the moment. The sun hits the water beyond the arch. The light catches the spray, and for just a few minutes, the entire frame of the world, rock, sea, sky, burns. This is not a place that asks you to think about anything. It simply asks you to be here. Fully, completely here. 1,000 years of tides have worn this arch. Tonight, it's wearing the sunset like a crown. One day, a dozen different worlds, a castle that survived a Civil War siege, a steam train that volunteers pulled back from extinction by hand, chalk cliffs shaped by a sea that no longer exists, a cove carved by 60 million years of patience, and a limestone arch standing quietly in the sea, waiting for the next sunset. The Isle of Purbeck doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It simply exists. Deeply, stubbornly, beautifully, and invites you to slow down long enough to notice. If this journey spoke to you, like this video, leave a comment with where you'd go first, and subscribe so you don't miss the next adventure. Until then, goodbye.